My name is Wix and welcome back to my Palmetto Zoo series. Today we're building a Wolverine habitat which has a log cabin where you walk into to see the animal, and we also have a little looking area towards it. So sit back and enjoy and watch me build this Wolverine habitat. Hey everyone, welcome back to another video of Palmetto Zoo. Yes, you heard correct. And as you can see in the title, today we're building a habitat for the new arrival Wolverine, which is in the new pack that we got. I have no idea on how a real Wolverine habitat looks, so I tried to find a lot of different picture references and etc. for how to make this looking proper. One thing I felt over was this log cabin viewing gallery here, which apparently is something that already is in the Columbus Zoo, which I've never been as well. But some pictures from Zoo Chat kind of showed me on how this kind of look, and I do like building cabins. So here we are building a super cool cabin with all the pieces that we have in the game. You can see, which is pretty damn cool. I really love these logs here. That really works well for a cabin itself. So as you can see, the cabin really is pretty quick progress here as I move further along and just add stuff to it. Don't really think about it, just kind of see what works and what doesn't. And there's just so many cool pieces in this game that really works well for a cabin here. As you can see, I'm using the bark for kind of like a little slide roof here, and then I've used the Indonesian small tiles as the roof, as you can see. And then afterwards there, I'm just kind of like mixing and mingle everything together very nicely, and we get a perfect result. After that, we are opening up in the back side here where we're gonna have the Wolverines, and then on the left side we'll have a little viewing area as well. And this is far away from the other side of the zoo. As you can know, we have the Australian outback, and then we have the Floridian native animal section that we need, and then we have a fourth that we kinda not sure what's gonna be yet, but maybe we'll do like a farm area or something. We'll see what works good with the surroundings we're doing here. So we're kind of like jumping back and forth a bit here in the area or in the park, because I kind of like want to build further in, so everything kind of like looks more, so it just looks like there's more to look at. And if you look at it, we already have like tortoise, we have koalas, we have Tasmanian devil, and now we have the Wolverines. It goes pretty fast, I gotta say, and I'm really happy for the results so far of this zoo, of this project. And I have a few other people helping me, as I said last time. I have a few people building some blueprints and etc. And that stuff I will place in as well through a stream, which I usually do one time a week on Twitch. So it's pretty fun. I really like this sort of habitat I'm building today. It's really different from what I've usually done, and I have not really been building a lot of like northern wilderness stuff. So I'm really happy for this. And over here, obviously up here, we're gonna have beavers, we're gonna have bears. That's pretty much the animals so far. Oh yeah, we're gonna have raccoons too. So, but they are more likely the native side of Florida, obviously. Do you think, if you have a few suggestions on what animals you would like to see in this northern wilderness area, let me know down below. I'm curious to hear what you think would fit perfectly in this area here, because I do want to have beavers too, and then otters, and as I said before, maybe even a deer or a moose or something like that. But we'll see the further we go into the project. The custom roof here was really nice, and I think it worked perfectly, especially after we add some decals on it. Then it really just pop up extremely, and it's just nice, honestly. So as you can see here, by using all the logs here, I'm trying to get a room available for the glass section in the log here, and it actually works super well. I don't do a lot of stuff inside the log cabin today. I'm mainly just building it and then making it ready for people to go inside and look, because you don't really want to fill this up with stuff. You want people to actually be able to walk in there and see the Wolverine habitat. So, and as I said, I tried to find a lot of references, but I just couldn't really find a lot of stuff for the Wolverine habitats, even on Google Maps. And so I kind of like just winged it a bit and tried to see what would work best for a Wolverine habitat and what would be more realistic in a way. So that's kind of like what we're doing today, as you can see. Just putting up the flooring here inside as well, and then we're pretty much kind of done with the whole interior of the log cabin here. It's not much, even though we're using like the first 7 minutes of the video to build here, but it's a fun little build. And I only add like a little 2 monitors in here, and that's pretty much it for now. Maybe we'll eventually add some more stuff when we get further into the project here, maybe even more in the northern wilderness, like, because I have like an outpost tower. I want to do like a cool little entrance going towards it from the other areas. So I have some cool ideas I want to do, but what's going to happen next, which area, I don't know. We will see. I just know for a fact that I'm going to work on the reptile house on stream. So if you are interested in seeing that, you should come by in this weekend, because I will be building some stuff in here. But we're doing a little bit of support work inside the cabin too, obviously. And then afterwards we are just gonna go in and we're gonna try and make this custom fencing here with these poles here. And it actually works super well. So don't worry, this is not gonna be their entire fencing, because this fence they will obviously just buy through or crawl over, and then they will be outside of the habitat. So this is kind of like just an addition toward the cabin to make it feel more northern wilderness, like you use the materials of the forest to build around here. And that's kind of like what I'm doing. So after this, you will see it later on in the video, we're adding a fence, like a mesh fence behind this, so the Wolverines are pretty most likely safe and can't escape from their habitat. So that's kind of like what we're doing. As you can see here, we're kind of like just trying to vary them a little bit, so some is higher, some is lower, and then it's pretty much just that. Now we're doing the chimney part here, and the chimney kind of like, it was a little bit of a mess in the start, I gotta admit, but we slowly found a way to get it done. And as you can see here, we are getting up there, and then we're trying to like put in some squares, so we kind of like get this nice square shape to the chimney, and also kind of like putting in some decals, so we kind of have it feeling like it's destroyed or it's like built up by different rocks and materials as well. And it actually works super well, if you ask me. As you can see here, it works pretty good, and it's just the perfect addition to the log cabin here. Of course we need a little chimney. I was thinking we don't really have to have it active, it's just mainly just for the scenic parts of it, right? Or maybe just put in some fake smoke or something. I don't know if they would do that in a real zoo. Would they? Let me know down below if you guys know this. I don't know if they are polluting the air or something like that, because you don't want that for the animals, obviously. But to get that extra little addition to it, it would be cool, 100%. We are moving over to the roof here again, as you can see, and adding this little dots into the chimney, which obviously works 100%. There are so many cool pieces in this game, and I still just like getting to know a lot of them each time, and it really makes the building progress a lot better and a lot easier as well to how you want to build and what pieces do you want to use, because this is like all these new pieces in this little build here is a lot of new pieces for me to use, and I love it. Like, I just love the whole combination of all these wood pieces together. It makes the log cabin pop up extra, I feel like, and this has to be one of my best log cabins in Planet Zoo because of the materials and the different things we're using. And yeah, I'm just loving it. Here we're doing like a little picket fence on the side here where we have these pieces, and it's kind of like the same we're doing here. We're putting this in front, and then we're putting up mesh fence in the back of this, so so the guests can feel safe and you don't really have to worry about them escaping, as I said as well. And I'm only doing this on the front side here, because on the back we're doing a little bit more of a zoo background, you know, like with some concrete, we have some trellis, and then just some foliage and stuff inside of it. And then that's pretty much how we're gonna have this habitat. I am trying to keep the habitat smaller and like actually more authentic to how they would look like in real life. And it's kind of fun to not go the extreme way and building like a huge habitat. So I really like to build for these small critters and animals here. It's really fun. Okay, so you can see here in the background we're starting to do a little rock backdrop here, and this is the first time I'm kind of like mixing in the stalactite and the other pieces here. And I gotta say, I've seen a lot of people use these pieces for the backdrop and stuff, but now when I actually get to do it myself, I can see why, because my god, the texture on these is amazing. I absolutely love it, and this is only gonna make the building progress easier when it comes to building more habitats around Palmetto Zoo, because yeah, I really love that. And it just looks so nice. Look at this, like everything sampled together, all the textures running in perfect alignment, and it's just awesome. Like, I love it. And as you can see, I'm building this and then I'm duplicating it to be the backdrop of the habitat, and it just works 100%. Here I'm also doing something that I found a little screenshot of too as well on Zoo Chat. I can't remember the zoo, but I do know one thing, that this was awesome looking, and I wanted to try implement this too into this habitat. So people have two different views. They can check out the Wolverines like in the cabin, or they can do it on this side here where they get to see the whole habitat with the cabin. So there are a few different areas for these people that they can look and learn. Remember, there's a lot of clutter pieces, there's a lot of signs, there's a lot of banners that you don't see yet, but I am going to do like some custom images and billboards and etc. I even want to do a zoo map when we get that far, so we can kind of like put that in as well into the zoo, and so people can go look and see, here you are, where do I want to go? Because we're going to have 4 different areas, as I told you in the start, and that's only what it's going to be, because we don't want to go crazy. We just want to do a little mini zoo with like 14, 15 habitats tops that we can kind of like try to divide nicely. And then we're also going to have a little parking lot. We're going to have a little coast and stuff outside of the zoo too. That's where a lot of people come in, even you, to help me out. I'll need a lot of backdrop stuff, like buildings. I need some nice areas where I can put in maybe some Florida cracker houses along the beach. I need all those kind of stuff as well. So if this had interest, you should join the Discord and listen more and talk more about this whole project with us, because we are a lot of people that are contributing, and as you can see, I'm mainly the main person to build in here, where other people are doing blueprints and etc. But it's a lot of fun. Adding is a little waterfall here because I felt like that was cool, and I saw that in another picture too, that they had a little small waterfall here that kind of like adds to the habitat, and I love it, especially now when they have a little pool as well. And then afterwards we're slowly just adding rocks and a lot of foliage. Now we are actually doing this habitat a favor and adding lots of foliage and making it feel like the Wolverines are actually living here permanently, right? Adding a little door here as well, and I feel like that's super cool too, how this door looks like implemented into the whole rock work. At the backside here, we're not working on that yet. We're gonna have some backstage stuff, but as you all know, I'm not the superior in backstage, so it will take a little bit of time, a little bit of reference pictures to look at, but we will get there. So mainly now it's just gonna be a backdrop of some backstage stuff, but we will not really build anything to it yet. But as I say, we might even get a few people to come in and add a few of those things as well. So do not worry, we are going to make this look super nice, super realistic when we get further into the project. Here you can see what I talked about, having the mesh fence above or next to these, so it doesn't really look like they can escape, and it actually adds so much more to it as well inside of the habitat. And as you can see, the more we add, the more it just looks a lot better now with the whole environment around it, with the cabin, the big pine trees. And now we are gonna make their little cave system here where they can go in and lie as well. And all this just looks so awesome when it all comes together in one. I'm a big fan of this, and I'm really starting to get the hang of building habitats, and it really excites me a little bit more now, because it didn't really do in the start. But I feel like now, when I kind of like have a base, I kind of like know what to do, and kind of like adding these things, then I feel like it's basically also making them smaller, like the habitat smaller than I did back in the day. So it just makes it a lot easier and not so overwhelming when you're building like these huge areas and you want to detail it and you want to put foliage like I do now everywhere in it, right? So you kind of like just want to take a step back and make a smaller habitat for some of the smaller animals, and just go with it. The only thing I disabled here is their kind of like their habitat thing where like they don't have so much space. I kind of like disabled that because that was really annoying to build for. And I've seen a lot of people like build smaller areas, and I don't know if a lot of people disable that too and just pretend. But we're doing that here in Palmetto Zoo. At least we still have aging and they can give birth and all that stuff. So all that is still available in the zoo, but it's mainly just the other things that are disabled. So we're adding in some food and water here, and then just keeping on adding some foliage, all this grass. And the more we kind of add into this, the more I kind of like how it looks, because we are actually pretty close to the end of the video here. And I think so far in Palmetto, I think this habitat might be my favorite one yet. Let me hear what you think. Do you think this is the best one yet so far in Palmetto Zoo? And which suggestions do you have to add to the northern wilderness if we're talking like a very small area with like maybe 4 or 5 animals tops? Wolverines are included in that 5. So let me know what you think, and what you think would be cool to contribute to this zoo here. So I know there are a little bit of a climb animals too. So as you can see, I'm doing this a little bit over the water here, and hopefully eventually they will start using it and like climb around and climb above this waterfall and the water here as well. And I'm just trying to make it look nice and a little bit pretty here. And I'm a big fan of how this looks. Big fan. And yeah, you can see that's pretty much what it is. Adding the last pieces of rope here to this, and then we are going outside to kind of like work on the backdrop and etc. As you can see here was what I'm talking about. We're adding this concrete wall, putting in this wooden trellis section here, and then we are filling it up with a lot of foliage and a lot of greenery. And I feel like that kind of works very well, and it's very zoo-ish to do that, you know, have a backdrop with all these kind of things. I know Copenhagen Zoo have tons of that, and it just adds a lot to the backdrop as well, especially for the Wolverines here, as you can see. After that, we're adding some fencing again, so it feels like it's actually enclosed in a proper way. So this was pretty much it, friends. Let me know what you think of my Wolverine habitat here and the little log cabin we're doing. As I said, I don't know which animal or which section I will work on next, but we are definitely going in a full throttle mode here with Palmetto Zoo. I'm in a groove, and yeah, if you're missing something else to go look, you should go watch my Terra Magica, which is based on fantasy and magic, and I'm building that with Coaster Cat, which is a series we are pretty much going full throttle with too. This is pretty much the 2 projects that are running on the channel right now, and there are some stuff going on in the background too, but eventually you will just see a few showcases of those videos or park or zoo tours. So yeah, that's pretty much it. As you can see here at the end, we're just adding a little bit of stuff, a little bit of clutter, benches, so people can kind of like walk here and kind of look at the animals as well. So yeah, may you all have a fantastic day, and give the video a like if you think it deserves it. Subscribe for more if you want to watch more of this content, and yeah, just stay awesome, and I'll see you around. All right, take care everyone. Bye bye.